Welcome to our virtual French immersion program information session. We'll start with an explanation of how our French immersion program works and then explain the registration process. We offer a 50% French immersion program. That means that students learn in French for half the day and in English for the other half. All communication between school and home, including report cards, will be in English. In French, the students study the French language, science and technology, social studies, physical education and health, as well as the arts. In English, the students study English language, mathematics, and religion and family life. Parents often wonder how long it will take for their child to start speaking French. Typically, what we see is that in the fall, the teacher is using a lot of picture prompts and gestures. They're teaching sounds through poems. They are using routines every day and modeling the same very common expressions. The students do a lot of repetition, so they repeat after the teacher. They will read at the same time in chorus. They will use a lot of short memorized statements to converse with the teacher. When students return after Christmas break in January, the teacher continues to use strategies and starts to be firmer about insisting that students respond in French. For their part, the students begin to interact more with each other in French. They always understand more than they can express, but at this time, you'll start to see an increase in them sharing what they know in French when they come home after school. Parents may wonder whether their student in the French immersion program is doing exactly the same thing as students in the English stream would be doing. In the French part of their day, students will be learning alphabet sounds and letters in French. They'll be learning some basic diphthongs and triphthongs, such as O and U make the sound OO, or E-A-U make the sound O. They learn to recognize simple sight words. They'll be reading at a kindergarten level. In the English part of their day, they will follow the grade 1 curriculum, but they do have less time per week for English language arts than students in the English stream do. Progress in English may be slower than if you were only studying in one language. Research has found, however, that although French immersion students may proceed slower in their first language literacy skills, there are no long-term effects, and by the time they reach the intermediate grades, there is no notable difference between the two classes in terms of English literacy. If a child already speaks a second language, adding a third language generally isn't a big problem. Research actually indicates that by grade 12, many trilingual learners surpass their bilingual peers. For students who have learning difficulties or other specialized learning needs, increasing evidence has demonstrated that the learning needs in and of themselves do not create barriers to developing proficiency in another language. Students are supported in their classroom through an IEP as they would be in the English stream. If you don't speak French, don't worry. Multiple factors influence second language development. Within that influence, parental knowledge of the target language has not been identified as a critical need. Parents do worry, however, about how they will help their child with homework if they don't speak French. Please keep in mind that the intent of homework is to practice skills and consolidate knowledge that was already taught in class. Parents are not expected to be teachers. If the homework assigned is too difficult, or if your child doesn't understand the instructions, you need to make the teacher aware that additional instruction is required. Even if you don't speak French, there are ways that you can help set your child up for success in second language learning. Students that can identify sounds, syllables, and rhymes in their first language will progress faster than students who have not yet mastered these skills. So look for opportunities to insert basic literacy concepts into your daily life. For example, ask your child if they can hear and identify the first and last letter sound in a word. You might say, "Here's a cookie. What's the first sound in cookie? What letter makes the sound k? What's another letter that also makes the sound k? Watch to see if your child can clap the number of syllables in a word. We're having pizza for lunch. How many claps did you hear in pizza? And see if your child can identify rhyming words. For instance, that car was driving really fast. What's a word that rhymes with fast? Or which word rhymes with fast? Last or fat? Now that you understand how the program works, let's discuss the registration process. French Immersion is offered at 6 schools in Waterloo Region. Sir Edgar Bauer in Waterloo, St. Anne in Kitchener, Our Lady of Fatima in Cambridge, Holy Rosary in Waterloo, St. Luke in Waterloo, and St. Peter in Cambridge. French Immersion is a regional program. That means that every student in the Waterloo Catholic District School Board lives within a French Immersion boundary. For instance, if St. Matthew is your home school, you live within the St. Luke Immersion boundary. For a PDF of this map, visit the FSL page at wcdsb.ca. If you aren't sure what your home school is, visit the website at the bottom of this page and click Which School Do I Attend? Please keep in mind that transportation is not provided for the French Immersion program. All of our French Immersion sites have before and after school care, either offered through the school board's extended day program or through an outside organization. If you think you will need before or after school care for the following year, please indicate your interest as early as February by visiting our website and following the Our Schools tab, then the Register for School tab, then Extended Day. The online lottery is open January 4th to 31st. You may get to the lottery form through the scrolling banner on our front page or by going directly to the FSL page. The FSL page is found at www.wcdsb.ca/programs-and-services/FSL. The lottery link will be at the top of the page and will open on January 4th. When you click the link, it will open a form that looks like this. Before you start filling out the form, make sure you have all of the following information handy: your email address, child's name, their year of birth, the current school that they're attending, the name and grade of any other siblings that would be going to the French Immersion School with them. That may be an older sibling in the English stream. It may be a twin or triplet. Whether or not the child or parent has a baptismal certificate, and then the parent contact information. All students starting grade 1 in September are eligible to enter the lottery. The randomized acceptance and wait lists are created at the board office and then shared with the schools on February the 1st. When a family wins a lottery, the entire family wins. That means that when a younger sibling becomes old enough to register for the program, they will be prioritized if they register by January 31st and they indicate that they are a younger sibling. Parents of siblings must tell the school office in writing that they are accepting their spot. We do value keeping families together. For that reason, older siblings are able to transfer over to the French Immersion School with their sibling, even if they are in the English stream. As well, if a twin or a triplet is accepted into the immersion program, their sibling will automatically be accepted as well. So, you've registered in the lottery. Now what? On February 1st, you will receive notification by email via the email address you provided. You will be asked to confirm or decline your spot in French Immersion. Families have 2 weeks to clearly indicate in writing that they are accepting their spot by completing the following steps. If you already go to the French Immersion School, send an email to the school office to let them know that you are accepting your spot. If you're already a student in the Waterloo Catholic District School Board, but not at the French Immersion School, you will need to complete a school registration form at the new school and update your direction of support form. If you're a student from another board, you will need to provide certain documents, proof of address, birth certificate, baptismal certificate, and then the school registration form and direction of school support form. Phase 2 begins on February 12th at 3 p.m. Any spots that have not been claimed will be filled in the following order. First, we will give them to families on the wait list, and then families that have expressed an interest after the online lottery closed. Still have questions? We'll have 2 virtual question and answer sessions on Thursday, December the 10th from 5 to 6 p.m. and on Monday, January the 11th from 7 to 8 p.m. The links for these sessions can be found on the FSL page at the wcdsb.ca website.